Did 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After's Jasmine know she was pregnant during filming? I have a theory. Warning. The following contains spoilers from the 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After episode. It's a dogfight all the way home. Stream the episode with an HBO Max subscription and read at your own risk. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After has essentially become the Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo show, but that's not a bad thing. The couple's messy road to divorce is by far the most compelling storyline of the season, especially since we know Jasmine will eventually get pregnant and expect a baby with Matt Branasterianu. I say eventually, because she's not pregnant yet within the show's timeline, or is she? The latest episode had me wondering if 90 Day Fiancé is intentionally frauding its viewers, and Jasmine already knew she was pregnant, and they just hadn't filmed the scene yet. Here's my theory on why, and it all begins with that restaurant scene at the beginning of their segment. Jasmine and Matt went to a wine bar, and she wasn't drinking. Matt made such a show of pointing out the name of the restaurant they were at, Prost, at the start of he and Jasmine's segment on 90 Day Fiancé that I had to look it up online. I managed to track down the website, but the fact it was a wine and charcuterie bar made me raise an eyebrow. Why would they go to a fancy wine bar, just for Jasmine to order a hot chocolate? It's a tried and true TV trope for a character's pregnancy to be revealed via behavioral changes, and even Severance's latest season featured that exact scenario. Did Jasmine know she was pregnant when filming this episode? I suspect that Jasmine wasn't drinking because she knew she was pregnant, but I did some digging and did find she's not much of a drinker as of late anyway. An Instagram post from December 2022 noted that while she was only a mild drinker in general, she had given up alcohol. It does lead me to question why Jasmine and Matt went to a wine bar if she wasn't going to drink under any circumstances, though the 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After producers may have just liked the location and thought it was a good place to film a scene. It's not unheard of for 90 Day Fiancé crews to set up scenes for people to shoot, and even have cast members who aren't supposed to be there lurking in the background. We know from the 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After Season 9 premiere that Jasmine and Gino's storyline took place 7 months before the last resort Season 2 tell-all, in which Jasmine was very far along in her pregnancy. Jasmine announced the birth of her baby 2 months after the tell-all filming, suggesting that she will find out that she's pregnant during the season of HEA. I wouldn't be so suspicious that Jasmine already knows she's pregnant in the latest 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After episode if there weren't claims that the franchise has faked scenes in the past. Take that, the lack of alcohol at a wine bar, and Jasmine being a franchise veteran, potentially because she's willing to work with producers to make her storyline as entertaining as possible, and I can't help but wonder. Ultimately, we may never know for sure. However, if we get a more grandiose scene of her announcing her pregnancy to Matt later this season, I'll certainly be suspicious. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After continues Season 9 on TLC on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll see how Jasmine and Matt's relationship continues to unfold across the season, which might shed light on why she was living near a beach after filming completed. I was unhappy. 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way star Manon opens up about her childhood in France while talking to her parents. 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 7 Episode 5 aired on October 6, 2025. The latest episode featured cast members including Manon, Anthony, Luke, Madeleine, Greta, Matthew, Sumit, Jenny, Chloe, and Johnny. One of the couples featured on the reality show is Manon and Anthony. Earlier, viewers witnessed the two moving to France, at Manon's parents' home. Despite the challenges the two faced, they decided to move there for several reasons. The latest episode saw a conversation between Manon and her parents. She recalled her childhood struggles she went through while she lived in France. When I was here, I was unhappy, miserable. I felt like a total outsider. I always felt like I didn't belong in my friend group and all that. But within the family as well. My daughter Manon, she doesn't eat but yet she's still overweight. There was a lot of body shaming. I know that I look different from others, shared Manon. 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 7 Episode 5, Manon recalls her childhood and talks to her parents about her struggles. 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 7's Manon, Anthony, and their son spent time with her parents. They played some traditional games while Manon talked to her mom about her childhood. She mentioned how she spent summers with her family at a rented townhouse. My parents didn't have a lot of money for fancy, expensive vacations. So they used to rent a townhouse, shared Manon. While playing the game, her mom talked about Manon's return to France. I gotta tell you, I was quite surprised when you told me you were coming back. To be honest, I didn't think you were serious about it. Because you kept insisting that you were staying there because France has way too many issues for me. Listening to her mom, 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way star Manon responded that when she was there, she was unhappy. She noted feeling like an outsider. She talked about body shaming and looking different from others. Manon's dad responded that they thought they did their best as parents. Her husband, Anthony, witnessed the conversation between Manon and her parents. He confessed to the cameras that he didn't know if the discussion was going towards a solution or an intense situation. It is hard for Manon to move forward. But I definitely worry that Manon dwelling on the past is gonna make her family less interesting in helping us, confessed Anthony. Manon's mom said that it was complicated and that they weren't unkind on purpose. Listening to her parents, 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way star said that she knew they loved her. However, I can't deny that you've made some parenting choices and helped shape me into the person I am today. Which, back then, was an insecure girl who thought she was a problem. A girl who felt deeply flawed, added Manon. She talked about learning, growing, and changing. Manon's mom said that the important thing was for her to be happy. She also told her that whatever others thought didn't matter. Her parents told her that they were there for her and would always support her. In her private confessional, Manon recalled being in a dark place. But she noted that it was her past life. She was now committed to make it work in France and hoped for her parents to make a chance. I think 90 Day Fiancé Season 11's Annie is a villain in the throuple, but not because she's an exotic dancer. The current season of 90 Day Fiancé features a different kind of couple, one that we've never seen before, Amani Jalassi, her husband, Matt, and their girlfriend, Haney Eni Aguirre. The throuple relationship has not been explored in any 90 Day Fiancé franchise show. Matt and Amani have been married for 10 years and live in San Diego. They met Eni during a visit to Mexico at a nightclub where Eni worked as an exotic dancer. The throuple had been dating for a year by the time 90 Day Fiancé cameras picked up. Amani and Matt's desire to marry Eni is their main storyline during 90 Day Fiancé Season 11. Viewers are intrigued by this non-traditional relationship, but the deeper we get into their story, the more I'm starting to think Eni isn't in this relationship for the right reasons. Eni hid her relationship with Matt and Amani from her family. When Matt and Eni traveled to Mexico to meet Eni's family, they were stunned to discover that Eni hadn't told her family she was involved with the couple. She told her brother that Matt was her boyfriend and Amani was a friend. While Matt and Amani were hurt to discover that Eni wasn't being honest about the nature of their relationship, Eni's story that Matt was her boyfriend made Amani uncomfortable. By saying Matt was her boyfriend and Amani was a friend, Amani felt Eni was making it clear she cared more about Matt than Amani. Amani is very territorial about Eni, and I think she's jealous that Eni might only have real feelings for Matt, not Matt and Amani as a couple. I understand why Eni might be hesitant to share the real nature of her relationship with the American couple, but she should have been honest with them and not sprung it on them when they already made the trip to see her. Eni and Matt deceived Amani. On Matt and Amani's trip to visit Eni in Mexico, Amani discovered Matt and Eni had been intimate without her permission, which upset her. It caused a lot of tension between the throuple. The three of them had a night out, but Amani went to sleep. Matt and Eni were physical while Amani slept, making Amani realize they needed to set some ground rules. Amani said she was glad Eni told her and said she had more respect for her because she told her. Amani then pointed the finger at Matt, saying he should have told her before. Matt said they weren't trying to hide it, but Amani's feelings are rightfully hurt. Amani said she would have given them permission, but she was upset that there wasn't any communication. Amani is already feeling left out and hidden, so the thought that Matt and Annie were intimate behind her back is making her feel more insecure. Annie dropped the bomb very casually, but it was serious in Amani's eyes. Annie is causing issues in Matt and Amani's marriage. In my opinion, Annie is playing games with both Matt and Amani. Annie knows Amani has really strong feelings for her and that the couple is trying to navigate this situation, which is new for them. Annie also knows Aman is feeling insecure, and she rubbed it in when she revealed she and Matt had been intimate when Amani was asleep. I think Annie is taking advantage of the situation and she's playing both sides of the fence. Amani was threatened by Annie's relationship with Matt, especially since Annie told her family that Matt was her boyfriend. Amani even said that Annie kissed Matt first on arrival, which upset her. Amani is keeping score, and Annie wants to make Amani feel more comfortable. Annie told Amani that she is really in love with her and doesn't care about Matt after the argument. Amani shared this with Matt, and it understandably upset him. Again, Annie is causing issues between Amani and Matt, and both seem oblivious to this. If they continue in the throuple, it's going to take a lot of work to get everyone in a healthy place where there's trust and communication, and nothing